All right, welcome to the Third Dimension podcast. It's your host, Creighton, with a very special guest today. We have my favorite sister, and I can say that because she's my only one, Christie Lowe.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, so today I think we just wanted to talk about just like growing up with each other and like different experiences that we've both had. So started off like, what's your earliest memory, I guess?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to think like back
Like when you were born.
when you're born, you
Yeah.
know? I just feel like growing up, I don't know, like it was weird because like obviously I was the only girl, so things were like different in the house. I just honestly remember when I was younger, like just a lot of tension, like between the family, like
Okay.
with parents. That's like when I'm younger, that's what I can only really think of.
Yeah,
and like summers whenever parents weren't home and we just dick around all day.
Yeah. So when you say tension, what do you mean by that?
Just I remember mom and dad never were really happy. Like, I don't know, like I can't really like think about it like that far back, but
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
remember it wasn't like very, I don't know, there's a lot of fighting all the time. Like dad would always yell when people would be fighting, like
Yeah. With us siblings.
yeah, we were kind of crazy though too.
Yeah,
So I feel
well,
like
And like the thing is he was trying to do nursing school and
Yeah,
a parent.
I
and,
understand with
And
that,
like
yeah.
now I understand a lot better, like seeing like him sit down with his textbooks and stuff and like study, and we would just be dicking around.
Yeah, I get that's really hard. Like, cause in class, I swear it's so hard to like focus, like even trying to just like
Yeah.
do work and
Or even like come home and study.
come
you
home
know?
and study, and everyone's just like I don't know gaming, or Kelson's just screaming at the Xbox. I'm like, bro, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But that's honestly what I can remember from like childhood,
Okay.
like early on.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you remember ever like going to like St. George to like?
I do remember going to Grandma and Grandpa Voil's house. I remember, like, we'd always watch Harry Potter. That was, like,
Really?
always a thing that we would do. I remember that sometimes Mom would send, like, Carson and you down, and then we would come meet you guys down there, like,
Yeah,
a week
yeah.
later. Or I remember one time she sent me alone, and then when you guys came down, I actually ended up getting scarlet fever. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
And I was so sick. I literally, like, so scarlet fever, I don't know if you guys know this, but it makes you, like, gain a lot of water weight. So I was two times the size that I was before. So I
Shit.
literally had to go out and buy, like, a whole new, like, week's worth of clothes while I was in St. George. And I had to go to Instacare. And the guy was literally like, dude, you're dying. Like, we need to put you on meds ASAP. And I just remember being miserable, just, like, sitting,
Yeah.
like, you know, their back little patio. Like, it was, like, an indoor patio. It was really weird.
Yeah.
I just remember sitting there for, like, the whole week, not being able to do anything, just, like, wanting to go home, like,
Yeah.
sick out of my brains.
Shit.
But
Yeah.
other than that,
St. George's like was weird. Like I definitely like look back on those times and like how there was tension between like mom and dad that I saw that I didn't fully understand.
yeah,
but, like,
you definitely
looking-
didn't understand. But looking back, you're like, damn, like, that shit makes sense to me now.
Yeah,
I feel.
yeah. And I think it's also funny. I think like my memories around that time when dad was studying was like he would always make mac and cheese, remember?
Yeah.
And then we would fight over the light blue cup. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
dude, that light blue cup was my shit. Like, I literally was like, don't fucking touch this cup. This is my cup. And everyone would always be like, no. And then dad's like,
Yeah.
guys, just fucking eat. Like, it's not that,
He's like
it's not that
literally,
serious.
he makes like this meal for us, and we're fighting over what color of
but I
cup we
also
want, dog.
remember like coming home from elementary, and he would like be making like some exquisite meal. Like
Yeah.
he always was whipping it up in the kitchen, and I miss that so much after like mom and dad got
Yeah.
divorced. Like, not that mom's cooking sucks,
Yeah,
but like it wasn't like all this like crazy food. Like I don't know.
yeah, like we had curry.
We had curry. Like, mom does make curry now, but
Yeah.
she switches between, like, Indian curry and coconut curry.
Yeah.
But, like, dad would always, like, be, I don't know.
biscuits and gravy.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, that
like,
went hard.
Yeah.
Or bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits in
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Shit, dog.
That stuff
You're getting
went
me hungry right now.
That stuff smacked. Like, you'd wake up to the smell and go in the kitchen, and he'd just be whipping it up.
Yeah, he's just like a
And-
humble kneader.
Yeah, he's like kneading the dough like from scratch, and you're like, bro, like, let me chomp. Yeah.
No, for real. Like, it's good to look back on the good times, because like
Yeah.
it's definitely hard, because like I feel like like I was talking to you about this earlier today about
Yeah.
like like watching your parents go through that divorce.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Especially from like an outside. And
Outside in, yeah.
Especially at the ages that we were at, like everyone in the family, like you all the way to Kelson, that's like 5 different ages.
Yeah.
Experiencing like that trauma, like it's weird because like I think about it now and I'm like, I wonder what life would be like if they never got divorced. Like I wonder, like my life would be so different. But it's also like I do miss not growing up with 2 parents in the household.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has shaped me to the person who I am today.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm really grateful for like those opportunities at a young age. I feel like it pushes you off your feet sooner, and you come out like with a better outlook, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
If that makes sense. But
well, yeah, it's definitely hardship, and it's hard to. You can't deny the fact that putting someone through something hard and then coming out of it a better person was not worth it. You know.
Yeah, for real.
And with something like that, with divorce, like. Obviously, it's none of our kids. Like, it was none of the siblings' fault that they got divorced.
But like I do feel like, and Mom would always say this. She's like, whenever I don't remember.
Except it was Carson's fault.
Yeah, fuck you, Carson. No. I didn't. Mom would always say like when she was younger, like she felt like it was her fault that her parents like didn't work out.
Interesting.
But
like a little context on that, like.
Yeah.
My mom had her mom's.
Her name was Vicky.
And she had MS. And I was talking to Grandpa a little bit about that. With her MS, it kind of devolved into her treating Mom really bad. Like,
yeah.
Like Grandpa was telling me this story where he was at a funeral in Colorado. And he gets this call from Mom and it's like, from Stacy. And it was like, hey, Mom's being really mean to me. You need to come home right now.
Yeah.
And like, I can't even imagine that as like a father, and I can't even imagine
at that age too
what she like had. Like, it's hard because like with us, like it wasn't anything. It wasn't Mom or Dad being mean to us. You know?
No, it was their personal.
It was their personal thing, and
yeah.
But when like a parent is being mean to you, and it's not even the parent's technical fault.
Yeah,
like it's the illness.
It's the illness.
And like, so
it's hard to cope with it and understand it, especially at that age that she was at. Like, I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah, yeah. So like, I feel like divorce sucks. It definitely shaped us as like people.
Yeah.
But it could have been so much worse.
It really could have. I like some of my friends. I feel like at this time it's like literally 2020. Like a lot of people get divorced. Yeah. Like it's a normal
over
thing.
50% of the population gets divorced.
It makes me really sad though. Yeah. Like it really does. But like I feel like a lot of my friends had it a lot worse. Like I don't know. Like just hearing their stuff, I'm like, damn. Like I really like. Even though shit sucked, like I'm really sorry for you, like.
Or even think of it like this, like our parents got divorced, but none of them stopped loving us, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with other parents who
literally neglect their kids
who are married, but then like have no respect or open line of communication.
Yeah, which also, I mean, like I feel like with some cultures too, though, with some people, like that's just how family is, like. They don't tell their kids they love them. They don't do that, you know. Well,
it's like also like how you're raised too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you model what your parents do, and if you think like that's the only way, and you don't really explore other ways,
then
like you're a product of your environment.
Yeah.
If you only learn one way, then
I agree with that 100%.
But it's interesting. Like, why do you think so many people get divorced?
Honestly, I feel like. I don't know. For me, like, I feel like just some people just aren't loyal. Like, I feel like they just aren't happy with themselves or, like, something mental, like, personal is going on and they feel like they can't communicate it to their person. So they go out and try to find another way. But I honestly can tell you, like, I can't tell you what other people's actions are because that's really not my mindset.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but I don't know.
Well, it's important to, like, focus on yourself and what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to me that, like, I don't, like, did this constantly happen in history? And, like, right now, like, I'm just bullshitting. I don't know any of the statistics. But, like, it seems like it's been getting like a bigger and bigger problem,
I feel that, but also I feel like people like aren't happy, and they feel like the only way they can escape that is just leaving. Like people, I feel like nowadays they just don't put in the effort to fix their issues.
Yeah.
And they run away from their problems, and they think getting divorced will fix this, finding someone else that makes me happy now. The problem is you. You're not fixing your problem at the root. Like, honestly, I feel like if you would have communicated to your person, like, look, this is what's going on. Like, I want to fix this. I want to figure out a way. Like, I really think that, like, I want to be with you forever. Like, I feel like if you're really committed to a person, and if you really genuinely love them, you're gonna do whatever you can to figure that out. Like,
but like the hardest thing is like, even if you're 100% committed,
and
your partner could not be.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's also another thing which sucks. But like, I feel like, why would you want to be with someone that's not committed to you?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, why would you want to try and fix something with someone that's not gonna want to be with you? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. That just never makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it comes from the person doesn't know how to express themselves, so they're expressing themselves in another way.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they had the tools, or they had the mindset to know how to fix it, that
then
they
it would.
But people fall into old patterns, and
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot easier to cheat and fuck up a relationship than it is to fix it. You know?
I agree with that. My thing though, like, especially with where I am right now with like my stuff going on, like, if you're doing something that would bother you that your like other person was doing, then you shouldn't be doing it. If like, you should always just like be able to be doing stuff like that they wouldn't, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, conflict resolution is huge in being in a relationship, because you obviously can't be perfect 100% of the time.
No, you can't, and that's why you have to be forgiving and patient, and you definitely have to like be let them, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like give them opportunities. Obviously, if they keep repeating the same pattern, then obviously that's when you have a problem. I mean, some things aren't meant to last forever. Like,
and like, you have to be real with that too, you know, like, if you're trying to force something that isn't gonna work,
it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
And I can't really say anything about like relationships or advice like that, because I really like, I've never been in one. I can't tell you how that shit goes.
A long-term one.
Yeah, I literally can't tell you. Like, I don't know. I've met someone now, and I'm really happy, and I really hope it works. But like, but I couldn't tell you like advice from past experience. I really, like, you know.
Well, I feel like with just this baseline information, it was so much more than I had when I first got into a relationship.
Yeah.
And like, it's really, I told you this in the car, but it's like really cool to like see how mature you are. Like, I thought I was mature for my age in a sophomore year, but I simply just didn't know dick. And like, it's cool to see that you're at least emotionally mature, you know? I agree. And I talked to my Uncle Dave a lot about just emotional intelligence, and I feel like it's a lot, like, people just forget about it. They think of intellectual intelligence, they think of physical, like, strength.
I feel like mental intelligence is one of the most important things, because if you have the mindset, like, look, shit's hard right now, but I'm gonna get through this, I'm gonna figure it out. If you have like a mindset of like just not letting anything get in the way, that's gonna take you a lot further than like a physical mindset. You know, definitely agree with that.
Well, it's also like, think about where you were at like the start of the divorce. Like, I think for me, seeing like my parents like break up, there was an instant like us versus them mentality, you know?
It definitely was. I feel like, and I know this is a little controversial to say, but they definitely had us pick sides, like, all the time. Like, you would be with mom, she'd be talking shit on dad, you'd be with dad, he'd be talking shit on mom. And
when we say talking shit, I know both of them are gonna listen to us. Yeah. When we're talking shit, we don't mean your mom's the worst person in the whole world.
Not like that.
It's subtle things.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like the little things. It's like, I don't know, like, just like around why the divorce happened and stuff. Yeah. And it was just really hard for me, because I really just wanted to find a place where I could love both of them. But like, if you're putting your kid in that environment where you're both saying like negative things about your ex-spouse, like, consistently to your kids all the time, it's hard for them to be like, well, damn, like, should, like, like, is my mom a bad person? Is my dad a bad person? Like, I'm confused. Like, you're young, you don't know. Like, you don't know, you know?
And it's hard, too, because I had a good conversation with Dad the other day, and he kind of broke it down a little bit more, because, like, it's hard for him to express what happened without putting in his feelings into it.
It is hard.
And for him, he said that, like, you need to have a relationship with your mom that is based on you and hers respect.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. I figured that out last. Like,
and it took me a long time to figure that out.
It was
too,
hard for sure.
Because the thing is like yeah, people fuck up, you know. Like people aren't going to.
Nobody's perfect.
But like, Mom does so much for us, you know. Like, to disregard that, like, even whatever happened during the divorce, I don't really care, you know. Like, it's between them. It's not none of my business. But even after the divorce, she is a really hardworking mom.
That woman works her ass off.
Yeah,
like literally works her ass off. Like,
and she'll drop everything
to help.
Yeah. So I don't want this to be like we're calling shots at our parents, because I love really them.
I love them
so much. Yeah. But it was definitely hard growing up, and like making that distinction that what my dad is telling me is not. He's not trying to put me against my mom. Yeah. But in a weird way it did, because I didn't know how to deal with those. But
then again, I understand, like, they're both emotionally damaged from that. Like, I can't even imagine going through
having 5 kids and then getting divorced.
And I honestly, I can't even imagine how, like, Dad was feeling. Like, that must have been so hard. Yeah. But I don't know, like, it really shows strength that, like, look, he, like, grew out of that. Yeah. Like, he's married to Tori. She's like the most sweet person ever. Yeah. Like, I don't know, just seeing him happy makes me really happy.
Yeah, like, even, and like, the thing that, like, he talks about the most, like, in the LDS faith, which we can definitely get to that.
Oh. Don't get me started.
It's they talk about how, like, good things, like if you do good in the world, bad things will happen to you. And that's complete horseshit. That's
fucking bullshit. Yeah. Let me tell you this right now.
Like, if you pay your tithing, then you're going to get blessings. Like, no. Like, you want my money.
Yeah. Literally, sorry, I'm not your little sugar daddy. Yeah. But...
And the thing is like, if you just look at it from... I remember him talking to me about this. Like, he said that there is no, like he was being like a pretty devout LDS person, and then this divorce happens to him, and like, you can't think of the world as it happening to you. You have to think of it as, okay, this is the cards that I'm dealt with, you know?
I need to figure my shit out.
Yeah, things are not going to change, you know? Like, until I change them, you know?
Yeah, you're the person that controls your life. I'm sorry, but you're the root to your own problems. Yeah. And I know people hate hearing that, and I know it's hard for you to, like, comprehend that. But if you really take a step back and look at it, yeah, you are the problem. Like,
because even if the shit hits the fan, you can still be like, okay, what can I do to reconcile with what I have? Yeah. And you have to be okay with letting go. You know?
Have to, yeah. It's hard. Yeah. But change definitely makes you grow as a person.
Yeah. It's like, it being uncomfortable makes you better.
It pushes you. Like
it's almost like a fire molding you into something else. I can say that especially
with like dance, like being put in uncomfortable situations, like going to conventions and pushing myself to go stand up front. Like, that shit's scary as fuck. Like, it's definitely really scary, but like, it pushes you to, like, want to try harder. Like, and I feel like when, like, I dicked around a lot in the beginning, like, years of dancing. But, like, these past, like, 3 years, I've definitely been like, okay, like, I know I might not do this after high school, but definitely I'm going to put in all the effort that I can and try to grow the best that I can. And, like, you know, try to become better.
Like, that's the thing. Like, you can... I think the thing that I can kind of relate with is, like, violin, you know? Like, I can understand now that I'm getting, like, kind of back into music and stuff like that, that what they were teaching me in the music theory, like, we'd have these dumb music theory, like, books.
Yeah, I remember.
And we would have to learn music theory, and, like, that shit was so annoying to me.
It's annoying, but it's very useful.
But once you start looking at music as, like, a language, that's the words of that language, you know? Yeah. And it's hard putting yourself in, like, in like a spot where you're like, I don't know shit and I'm gonna have to humble myself. And
Yeah.
really at like 7th and 8th grade, I didn't want to do that shit anymore, and that's
Yeah.
why like I stopped.
Yeah.
But like there's a part of me is like, what if I kept going, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I didn't, because I didn't want to be that orchestra kid in like
that kid that's
in
like,
high
violin.
school, you know, like
Puts in his bio,
you
violin
know,
boy.
yeah, like that but I also realized like music is kind of like a part of me,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I kind of don't want to like ignore that anymore.
Yeah, that's good that you're like figuring yourself out though. Like it's never too late.
Yeah, so with you, like what made you want to do dance?
Honestly, I wanted to. I don't know, cause I remembered I like told mom like I want to get involved in sports. Like I've always wanted to do soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I know I never really got into it. Like I'd always played at recess and stuff, but like really always wanted to do soccer. And then I would always watch like gymnastics, like the Olympics.
Yeah, like
all the time. Like I would always go to the youths like gymnastics meets like at the arena.
And they were killing it.
They're literally insane. I was like, dude, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And so then
I remember you started like tumbling.
Yeah, so I started tumbling first. I think I was like 7 or 8. I don't know. I started kind of late actually. A lot of dancers start when they're like 3, like 4. I started pretty late.
Yeah.
I might have been like 6 or 7. I honestly don't know.
Christy, give me a break. Like starting at 7 is still pretty
That is
impressive.
Pretty yeah.
Yeah, like you can't compare yourself to everyone else.
Well, no, but definitely like I'm saying I did start late in the you're looking at
in the context of like the best dancers or whatever.
Yeah, so I started tumbling and it was I've been with the same studio, Just Dance Studio. It's in Magna, JDS Hut.
Shout out. Buy their merch.
Oh my god. But I've stayed with the same studio, but our old location was in like deep ends of Magna.
Yeah, like bumfuck Magna.
Bumfuck Magna, for real. So it was like right next to a Chevron, and it was actually in an old pharmacy where there was a shooting that happened there, and then they changed it into a studio, and the pharmacist that actually died, which this is going to pertain to the story, so keep that in mind. But we moved locations over by the Smiths in Magna, and I started doing jitterbugs. I think that was my first like competitive team, and then I've just done competitive ever since I was probably like 8. And I remember my first year I won like Star Student, and that's what made me, I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this.
And you're like, wow, I'm a star.
I'm a star. But no, definitely like I dicked around. Like whenever mom and dad were going through shit, like it was hard to focus at dance. Like it really was hard. And I remember like I was kind of outlashing at home, and dad told me I was team captain, I think. Yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna tell your coaches that you're not gonna be captain anymore if you don't get your shit together. Yeah. And I was like, damn, okay. So I remember like I kind of started working hard, and then probably I think I was around like 10. No, I think I was like 12. That was when it was really hard for me when I started like life was hard, and I won. What was
making life hard?
Just like realizing that dad's not there anymore, like just like shit started really like hitting me. I wasn't like I started processing like the divorce and everything, and
like when it happened, how old were you?
I think I was 7 or 8. So so now I'm around 12, and I won Most Improved. So that was a Studio Awards scholarship. And that really pushed me to like become better. And I just remember watching the older girls on like the advanced like prodigy team and being like, damn, I want to be them. Yeah. And then this is my 3rd year on pros. It's like I literally love my team. Yeah. But I remember when I made prodigies, I was kind of upset because I didn't feel like I deserved to be on the team.
So like they were like above you in skill, or
I was like, I'm not as good as them. I don't know why I'm placed on this team. Like, I mean, I did make the team, but, like, I just didn't feel that, like, oh, my God, I'm proud of myself type of thing. I was just like, I'm on the team. Like, I need to get my shit together. And I remember, like, going to practice and just being really nervous. But then I just started, like, pushing myself really hard and just, like, I'm on this team. I need to, like, you know, like, keep up with it. And my studio, going back to the pharmacy dude, we had mediums come in, and we actually have like ghosts, like spirits in our studio. Interesting. So like the lights will randomly flicker, like I don't know, you just like feel this weird like tension go over you. And so actually one of my coaches, Charity, was at the studio alone at like 2 a.m. She was filming just like choreography to post on like Facebook so that like a team could practice. And so she had her like iPad set up, and it was one of those cases that like folds like, you know, so you can like prop it up. And it was facing the left corner where she was, and you could see in the mirror, and these papers just started moving back and forth, and all of a sudden her iPad just turned like really sharp, so she kind of got out of frame, and it like followed her like somebody was holding the iPad. And it was literally the weirdest, that literally just gave me chills talking about it. The weirdest shit. Like, so my coaches, like my instructors had mediums come in, and they're like, yeah, there's definitely a spirit here. And like my coach talked to us about who it was, but I don't really think I can share this information, but definitely was a protector, and I think they've left now. But like it was kind of cool, like they followed us through, like, you know. But I'm just really glad that I've stayed in dance, because I definitely did want to quit last year. Yeah. And with dance company,
what made you want to quit last year?
Okay, so I was on dance company at my high school, and I liked it. There's nothing really wrong with it. I just didn't feel like I was improving that much. And the environment, like, I just don't. There's nothing against the girls that were on that team. I just didn't really. I didn't like the environment, and it just made me lose my passion for dance. Yeah. And when I told one of my coaches, Moana, that I wanted to quit and that this was my last year, she's like, no, like, you need to stay in the studio, dude.
Well, yeah.
Like, and I just kept thinking, I was like, no, dude, like, I literally hate it here. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I don't know, I took class one day, like, so just taking class is like a choreography. This is at studio. So it was like, just like an open class, so that's just like a choreography class. I just remember like finding my passion again for it, and like that drive, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely do it next year. So I'm glad I stayed, but definitely don't know if I'm gonna like go on professional wise, because the dance industry is really fucking hard. Like,
what makes it hard? Is it just super competitive?
Really competitive. You don't get paid that much unless you like
are really good.
And then there's like commercial dance, there's Broadway dance, there's all these different types of things, and I just don't want to, like, because I'm in pain after I dance. Like, I'm literally like, I have a shoulder injury, like, it's like not good, and so I don't really want to be in pain like my whole life. Because you see like dancers when they're 30 and they literally like can't even get out of bed like in the mornings because their back is like hurts so bad. Like, it's definitely a very harsh sport. Physical intake, but I don't know, it's taught me a lot of discipline, so I'm very grateful for that.
Like where have you applied that discipline in your life?
Just in like daily stuff. I feel like, I don't know, like you like just pushing myself to become better. So like in technique, I always try really hard because I know I'm good at it. And in like daily challenges, I'm like, look, I push myself here, I can push myself here, you know. So just like that kind of stuff. Okay. Which is good.
Well, kind of not a segue, but kind of to veer off topic. Yeah. So we were both raised in the LDS church. Yeah. And I feel like your experience is a lot different than mine, because I went through scouting, I went through young men, I had priesthood and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I went through...
I want to kind of hear, like, a female's side. So like, kind of talk, like what it was like to, like, be in, like, that other side,
okay, you know? So... I don't know, I feel like with the church, we always hated going every Sunday. It was literally a shit fest to get us in the fucking car.
Yeah, well, 5 kids, you know, and they're all little.
They're all little, we all don't want to go. They're all talking bullshit the whole time, and you're just staring at the clock, like, when is this 3 hours gonna be over?
For real.
Oh, God. But, I don't know, I just remember, like, when I was younger, like, I think all the way up till I was, like, 10, I was like, whatever, I don't believe this is bullshit. And I never, like, all these, I, like, never, and I was, like, because I did the dinner table, Mom and Dad asked, what'd you learn on Sunday? And I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't even listening. Like, you know?
You were just off in your own world.
All, like, whenever I got into Young Women's, all these girls would talk about their experiences with faith. And, like, they had, like, a shooting star when they were at camp. And they saw it in the sky. They realized that God was good. And that this is the church. And I never had something like that happen to me. I was like... Okay, like, I don't need a sign to know that this is true, but this is just bullshit. Like, what bothered me is, like, I know that no woman could ever be in, like, higher power, like, priesthood stuff, like, or a bishop, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, oh, men are the only people. Like, I was like, okay, shut up. Like, literally shut up.
Well, and like that's a weird thing for me too, because like getting raised in it, I was like, oh, this is how
normal.
it is.
Like, that just raised you to be sexist. Like, literally, like, look where we are now in this age and time. Like, all the shit that's been happening recently with like the Black Lives Matter movement, like, I don't know. It just really makes me sad that people are not accepting of people and that they do not care about people. Like, it should not matter what you look like, who you are, what color you are. It should not matter. Like, everyone's important. Everyone matters. And,
like, the thing with, I feel like with a lot of LDS people is that there definitely is good people. Like, Grant sent Ethan, Ashley, and I a letter in the mail. Yeah. And he's on a mission right now, and he said that, like, you guys are, like, good examples, like, to me, that God is real. Yeah. Because you guys love everyone no matter what.
Literally, yeah. Which I think that's a good moral to stand by. I don't think you need to be raised in a religion
in the church
to realize that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so, and the thing that's also different, or what I was trying to say, is a lot of LDS people have biases that they don't even know that they have. They don't even know they have,
yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they are definitely very sexist. They're definitely very controlling, and they're just, I just got a weird vibe from it all the time.
Well, like, Dad was telling me when he was in church that I can't remember which prophet it was, but he was like, if you masturbate, then you'll turn into a homosexual.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Let me beat my dick. Like,
and he was like, okay, just think of that. 99% of men jack off, and that 1% is just lying. Yeah. And you're telling me if 100% of men jack off, then there should be 100% gay population.
That's not right. This shit does not add up. 2 + 2 is not 6.
Yeah, for real. Like, but what were you saying?
I honestly don't remember.
So young women.
So young women's. I remember that, like, I don't know, nothing ever clicked. Like, I went to girls' camp twice. Like, it was just bullshit the whole time. Like, I don't know, everyone just, like, so fake. And then whenever...
Define that a little bit more.
Like, I just feel like they say that they love everyone, they care, but you could tell that they're like, oh my God.
They'll go in the corner and be like, this person.
This bitch really thinks. Yeah, so I was like, oh my. I don't know. It's like, it's nothing against, like, it's nothing against them, but, like, and, like, it's just not for me. And I feel like I'm glad I stopped going. Like, that's very glad. Yeah. But, I don't know, I just feel like that there's so many things wrong with the church, and I think it's like a cult on the low, and I really disagree with it, and that's about my opinion. Yeah, it's as far as I'm going to express it, because I'm really not trying to offend anyone.
Yeah, well, and the thing is like, just because it doesn't work for us doesn't mean that it will work for
someone else. Yeah,
like, I know Carrie Lynn's sister really likes it because she feels like it's like almost a sense of community, you know? Yeah. And like, I get that, you know? And if you're willing to like accept and believe in like the LDS faith, and like it is a sense of community, and it's one that I wish that I had in another aspect that wasn't like in the church, because like I really liked going to Scouts, but every time
that's kind of why I like dances, because that's like a sort of type of community I could go to connect with people.
And like at Scouts, it would be fun right up till they had the Scoutmasters Minute, where that's when they brought church into it, you know? Yeah. And it was like, I feel like this is just bullshit that you guys have to say, you know? Like,
my thing is, like, so I struggled after, like, with the church, after I knew I didn't, like, fuck with it anymore. I know it's, like, you know.
I don't fuck with the church. Like, don't be ashamed of that. Like.
Yeah, no, but I definitely was like, okay, well, is God real? Is God, like, what? Like, I need to, like, is that a thing? Like, you know? And definitely I feel like law of attraction, like, that's when that kind of stuff came into my life.
So explain the law of attraction.
So the law of attraction is, this is kind of hard to explain, but the energy that you put out is the energy that you're going to receive. Okay. So if you're really negative and you're like, God, my life sucks, obviously you're not going to get positive energy back that, life's going good right now, you know? Like, if you're a dick to someone and you're really rude, like, you're not attracting that positivity back to you. So if you're putting yourself at lower vibrations, you're going to go at a lower vibration and you're not gonna like, you know.
Yeah.
So with law of attraction, there's manifesting, so putting out into the universe things that you want to attract into your life. You also have to act on that. So if you're like, I really want this Benz, then if you say, yeah, I own this Benz, and you write it down and you think like, dude, my Benz is so nice, and you're working your ass off to get it, and you're gonna get that Benz. Like, it's gonna happen. You're like putting into your brain kind of like
you're
a
already
motive.
making those
Like,
pathways.
you're already making those pathways and already pushing yourself to get what you want. Yeah. Like, you literally, it's crazy, because I would watch all of these like documentaries on Netflix, I think, and I watched this one where this guy, so people make like these vision boards, and they'll put down like pictures and words and stuff of things they want to attract, and I guess he put down like this picture of this really nice house, and he like pinned it on his board, and he barely moved into this like really nice new house, and he found his old like vision board, and literally the house he bought was the house on his vision board. Really? And he didn't even like connect it. But I was like, it's crazy. Like, it's not like you can be like, oh, I want this, and it's just gonna come to you. It's not like magic. It's not gonna just like come out of your ass. But real. Definitely, if you work towards it and you have that mindset, like literally, mindset is the most important thing.
For real, yeah.
You can literally accomplish anything you want.
Yeah, and like that's another thing that like I've kind of like really learned about, like especially like with Joey Diaz. Like he's ending like his podcast because he's moving to New Jersey, because like a lot of those comedians are moving out of LA right now. Yeah, LA's like, not that much of a hot spot anymore. For real. And like especially like with Joe, like, and I can go on and on about
Dude,
that.
Joe Rogan's daddy. Just kidding. No, literally, Joe Rogan literally is such an inspiration. Like, I know that sounds so ghetto and cheesy and like
he's
cringe,
like the most popular podcaster.
He's really not, but like if you really just sit down and listen to what that man has to say, it really, like, I'm like, damn, like he's really like has some wisdom. Like, I don't know. I love just like learning from other people. I love like gaining information. Like, I think one of the most important things you can do is gain information and knowledge. Like, knowledge is the only thing that you have with you that's, like, not, like, a tangible item. Yeah. It's, like, literally in you, so.
And it's important to get that knowledge from other people, too.
Yeah, like.
And at least hear them out. Like, the thing that I'm so impressed with Joe is he'll have anyone on his podcast.
Literally anyone.
And he knows how to talk in a way that doesn't hurt their feelings, but also challenges their view. Yeah. And the only way that you're going to learn is if you're constantly challenging your views.
So I was listening to this one podcast. I really don't remember his name, but I'll figure it out and let you know so that you can like put it in the comments or something. Okay. But he's like this tattoo artist, and he's based on State Street in Utah, I'm pretty sure. He does like not Polynesian, but like cultural tattoos. I don't really know.
So like tribal tattoos?
Yeah, tribal tattoos. He's like really, he freehands them. They're the most beautiful, like, it's the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen. But he was talking about the law of thirds. So he was like, 1/3 of your time you should spend with someone above you. Gain knowledge from them, get that knowledge, like learn from them. 1/3 you should be spending with yourself, gaining knowledge for yourself, working on yourself. And you should spend 1/3 of your time with people below you, like helping them achieve what they want.
Well, not below you, but
well, like you know what I'm saying, like
helping people.
You should be helping people like below you on like your intellectual knowledge, like you should be giving to them because you're receiving from someone above you, if that makes sense. And I think that's really important to keep like in mind, is just to always be like trying to gain and give back. Like
so, and that kind of reminds me, like I watched this little like short documentary about like how Kanye made his album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I think I watched part of that with him.
We watched the Kid Cudi one. Oh, okay. But this one they were talking about, so Kanye was in a place where he was like dealing with his mom's death and stuff like that. Yeah. And he just needed to get out. He went to a couple other places, but he ended up in Hawaii. Yeah. And he brought a lot of big name artists. Yeah. And his work ethic was, we're going to work out in the gym at the YMCA. Yeah. And then right after that, we're going to do charity work to get the good karma. And then we're going to spend 12 hours in the studio. Yeah. Everyone's in black suits, ties.
That's sick as fuck.
And treat it like it's something professional. Yeah. And with all of those big artists and like those heavy hitters,
Yeah.
the energy will just flow because I feel like that's perfect for physiological.
Yeah.
You're getting your workout in a day.
Well, also
and you have good karma.
You're good karma, but you shouldn't be doing it just because you want good karma. You should be doing it because you want to give back. Which I'm sure that was their mindset.
Yeah.
But you should never be doing service or like helping out someone just because you want good karma. Like that's low-key selfish.
So that's not how karma works.
No.
Like if you have like ill intentions, then it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. But if you have the intention, then it will work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was really interesting, and then I honestly think that that's probably the best album of the decade, let alone just the way it was produced and stuff like that.
I think Pop Smoke's Shoot for the Stars album is literally the most insane album.
No, I get it.
Respect it.
No, I think that there's like a lot, like when you say the best, it's hard because there's obviously other good shit.
No, there's a lot of other, like I feel like being open to a lot of music is really good.
Except for country.
Okay. There's like 3 songs. But no, still it's good. Like country always puts me in a good mood. I know if I'm in a shitty mood and I turn on like 3 of those country songs, I'm like, damn, let's go get shredded, bro. Like, you know.
Yeah, and I think like there is good country. I just haven't put time and effort into finding it, you know?
Well, yeah, there is really shitty country. Like,
for sure. It's
kicking my boots.
I got my beer, I got my dog, my wife left me. I'm going to go shooting, bop, bop. Yeah, we could write a track right now.
Oh, God.
It's just a simple formula, and I think that's why I get annoyed with it. But, there's obviously always good artists in every genre.
Well, this summer I really got into indie music.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really listen to it that much anymore. Mm-hmm. But I definitely feel like being like open and like figuring out new stuff is like really good for your like brain.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah, I think it's definitely interesting, like, because it's like I'm like always at a battle. Like I want to listen to new stuff. I want to expand what I listen to, but then I always fall back to my
you
OG
always
stuff.
literally because I was like listening to indie and like all this like alternative rock like stuff like that, and then went right back into the rap little loophole. But I love rap. Like I love rap so much. So.
Well, and I think when you're around 14, 15, 16, you start finding music that you really like, and that music that like I fucked with hard is when I listen to it now, that it has one more component than good music. It has nostalgia.
It definitely has nostalgia, and I feel like I connect songs with memories.
Yeah.
So it like whenever I hear that song, I'm like, oh my god, I remember like.
Do you have a song that you can't listen to anymore?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Do you want to go off about them?
It's just like bad, like the wrong place, wrong time type of thing. Like the whole situation that happened. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have
there's
to get
like.
into it.
It's not like people. It's just like bad memories. Like I just wasn't in a good place. Just like and like oh that song reminds me of that, or there's like one song that reminds me of mom and dad's divorce. I whenever I hear I'm like turn that shit off please.
Oh, is it that country song where it's like it was like their song or whatever?
Oh yeah, that song and Somebody That I Used to Know.
Oh, that song goes hard though.
That song does go hard,
it's
but
like,
yeah, no, that song goes hard. But I remember like dad playing it, and I was like, shit, bro. Like I heard the lyrics, and I was like, fuck.
So it was like after the divorce.
Yeah, so like dad played it, and I like was I like read the lyrics, and it literally clicked to me in 7th grade. I was listening to it one day, and I was like, holy fuck, bro! I cannot listen to this anymore. Like what the hell?
Yeah, I think there was a couple of songs like from the Airborne Toxic event that like
I just barely got into Airborne like not that too long ago, and I really like their shit.
Well, like that's the thing, I still love them to a fault.
Yeah,
like I know that they're not the best, but like even Ethan now, he's like, oh, I'm too good for them. You're like but like come on. Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial and
warning
whoever but I fucked with the Front Bottoms really hard. Yeah, and their last album Going Gray, everyone across the board hated.
Yeah.
I fuck with it hard though. It's so good. Like you can't tell me that though. Like Peace Sign and then there's Bay and like the shit and Vacation Town, like that shit is just pure bliss in my head.
Pure
because
bliss.
like it just reminds me of like good times with cruising around like with Carrie and stuff, and like
Yeah.
we'd be bopping that, and like
Yeah.
and even though that we're not together anymore, like I'm not gonna forget those fun ass memories,
Well,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
definitely. I feel like with past friendships that no longer, like with some of my homegirls, like we've just moved on. Definitely do miss them, but like, do I much rather think of the good times than rather the bad
for real.
times? Like,
And I was talking with a couple of my coworkers with just like it's super hard to always like have that hate in your heart. You know?
I don't know how people can hate people. Like,
And-
I genuinely like. I just don't give enough fucks to hate someone, and I was literally talking about this with Jaden the other day in the hall. But like, you have to be really fucking.
Shout out to Jaden.
Shout out Jaden. My whole family loves you. I do too.
That's gay as hell.
Okay. What was I saying?
For the record, she's red right now.
Okay, we were talking about you have to be really special for me to hate you.
And
Like,
I
you
feel
really
like
do.
that's why I really hate you, because like
That's-
you're just
I'm so-
simply just a piece of shit. Like,
That's crazy, dude. I give a fuck because why?
jokes.
Oh my. Yeah, but
Yeah. So
like,
what are you saying?
like, I just don't know how people can have hate in their heart. Like, I really just don't give enough fucks to like care. But like, you really do have to be special for me to hate you. Like, you really have to like really get me.
And like that's the thing too. It's like when you're hating someone, there is a section in your day that you are putting into negative energy.
And that is attracting negative energy back to you, which
Full
is
circle, ladies and gentlemen.
full
like,
circle, hits you right in the face like a
like
potato sack.
that
no
shit.
bueno.
You just there's no time for that.
No.
You know, like it's important to feel sad. It's important.
It is important to
feel
like know your emotions and like let
and
that
you can't
happen.
ignore them too, because if you start ignoring them or start using substances to get away from
That's
them,
when there's an issue.
That's when there's an issue. Like it's important to feel like shit because it makes the good times so much more.
Definitely.
Like you can't if you're always numbing yourself, then you're gonna be numb all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a little heartless, but definitely what comes around does go around, and shit will hit you in the face.
Oh, for sure. And the people who keep the hate in their heart, it's a law of attraction, baby.
Literally,
that's what you're attracting.
You're literally attracting it to yourself. Like like I said at the beginning, you're the root to your own problems.
Yeah,
like you literally are the root to your own problems.
There's no problem that you can't fix.
No, you can figure out a way. It might be hard. You might not want to, but you definitely can. Definitely can do it.
But take that with like we're 19 and 15, but I really think this is true, you know, like if you are constantly saying to everyone this is happening to me,
like why is this happening to me? I don't understand. Like life sucks.
How can you have any control over your life, you know?
You can't.
But if you change your mindset to okay, what can I do to do better, you know?
What can I figure out? How can I make this better? Like, how can I turn my day around? Like, if you're having a shitty day, my, like, go-to is, like, okay, I'm just gonna sit back for a second, just, like, calm down.
Yeah.
What can I do to make this better?
Yeah.
Well,
What's
and just
bothering
let
you,
this go. Like,
you know?
I feel like that's the most healthy way you can resolve your own problems. And especially, like, when I'm a parent, if my kid's upset, I want to figure out why they're upset. I'm not just gonna be like, figure out, little bitch. Like,
or go to the corner.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like, okay, let's sit down. Like, what's bothering you right now? Let's figure out a solution. Like, just putting that into them at such a young age, I feel like is really important.
Yeah, or explaining what they did wrong and why it was wrong.
Why it's wrong, so that they understand and they're like, okay,
it's not
won't do that again.
Yeah, it's I want punishment not to be an uncomfortable learning experience. You know, like, hey, you did something wrong.
It's definitely important to discipline your kids.
Yeah.
But if they're confused as to why they're being disciplined, that's when
shit hits the fan, you know? Like, and like Joey Diaz was like talking about how if he goes to the pool like with his daughter all the time and he sees parents playing on their phone and their nannies are in the pool with the kid, and he was like don't ask why when your kid is on the street like sucking cock for money when you're literally sitting on your phone. When you're sitting on your phone and when you don't have the courage to jump in the pool with them, you know?
Yeah.
Bonding time is important.
Time is the most valuable thing.
And like you have shit is hard. Like don't get me wrong, I'm college have like 3/4 full time
Yeah.
work, like it's hard to get everything done in
The
a
hustle
day.
is hard, but it's
But
rewarding
it's
at the
worth
end.
it. Like
Yeah.
if you're able to just set stuff aside, like you need to do what's important for you, and like for me, like being able to like connect with you guys a little bit more, or
Yeah.
like sit down and like work on a track that I know sounds like shit because I'm not good, but how will I get any better if I
you
don't work on it,
yeah.
you know? Like,
Well, and I think about it, like, think of all these famous people, think of all these people that, like, are known. They started all at the same place.
yeah. Nowhere.
You have to literally work your way up
Yeah.
and get your name out there to get out
And
there.
to keep your name out there, to
Yeah.
keep being good. Like it might be easier for one person
Some
than
person,
another.
because some things do get handed to people,
But
which...
if you don't put in the work, you're not gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
as simple
if
as
you're
that.
wondering why am I not going anywhere, like all this shit, that's literally on you. Like,
For real.
that's figure it out. Like, figure it out.
Yeah. All right. So story time.
Story time.
You told me that I was your bully.
Oh, so okay, we were texting this morning, and Graham said something, and I was like, "You're literally my childhood bully, my elementary bully."
Yeah.
But it was just funny because like him and Carson would always like put me in the corner and make me cry when I was trying to eat my dino nuggets in the summer. They'd shoot me with airsoft guns.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was second, third grade,
You were mean.
I was a little bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I remember to this day, and I still feel really embarrassed about it, but there was this kid in my second grade class, and he was kind of a nerdy kid, but, like, he had warts on his fingers.
Uh-huh.
And I got warts on my fingers, like, later in the years.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a normal thing. But I would just make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, aha, warts.
and it's this weird thing. I'm trying to, like, now that I'm older and a little bit more mature, I was like, why did I do this? And, like, the divorce wasn't going on at the time, so it wasn't that.
I feel like that's still not even an excuse to make fun of someone, though.
No, yeah. And I think it was because I was insecure with myself.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, coming from a girl's point, a lot of females, like, lash out on other females, talk shit on other females because they're insecure about themselves.
Yeah, or can't take compliments.
They can't take compliments, and I'm very grateful that I'm very confident in myself, and, like, very grateful, like, for how I am. But, like, I just don't understand how people can, like, just hate on someone like that and be like, she's so ugly, she's so fat. Like, you're talking about things that somebody can't even control.
Yeah.
Like, why?
And, like, if someone said that shit about you.
Like, obviously I'd be like, okay, I care because why? But, like, I know that deeply does affect some, like, females, and then they go home and cry, and then they're like, well, fuck, I'm not even good enough. Like, I don't know, it just bothers me that some people, that's their mentality. I'm like, why? Why are you so rude for?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I kind of have, like, an epiphany on where I kind of learned that behavior.
Yeah.
Because in scouting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the older boys would always just trash on us. It's like a hazing thing, you know?
Yeah.
And, like...
Did you hear about East High School, how all the, like, seniors were shaving freshmen heads?
Really?
Yeah, they called it, like, Haze Week, and they literally shaved their heads, and it made it on the news, and I was like, damn, look, y'all some clowns.
Look, hazing is, like, it's fun when you're not a part of it.
Well, yeah, like, Mob Week, I feel like that's always a thing in, like, junior high school, and they're always like, you're gonna get suspended if you're part of it, but it's like...
It's this weird thing that, like, humans like to do. They like to put people in hierarchies. They like the power trip.
The power for, like, 3 seconds to
and, like, the funniest shit that, like, I can think of now...
Popping ASMR, sorry.
Shout out to Sam Hyde. But he said that... that the alphas in high school, the alphaness was given to them because they were physically stronger, or they had attractive if they were a girl. Yeah. And when they get into out of high school, and then they have this wife who's cheating on them, they don't know how to deal with it because they haven't gone through anything hard because they're the alpha, you know. Yeah. So that's the interesting thing. Like, I'm not trying to say this because I'm a beta cuck. Yeah. And, like, I mean,
you are.
hey, you guys are gonna get it. I had it rough in high school, and now I'm better. It's more like,
your learning
like,
experiences teach you to
you're
become
just
better.
your learning is gonna be delayed, you know,
Yeah.
and everyone's gonna go through it, and I don't wish that on really anyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, the crowd that I was in high school was just plain moderate, just
Yeah.
right on the line, just average. Like we weren't the fucking weird crew
No, you're
who was
just,
like
like,
sliding
there.
on the ground and like had furry tails, but we weren't like the popular bitches with like.
Honestly, I don't care about
But
my
yeah,
status.
and like honestly,
I don't care.
and I did, and none of us really cared about that. And the
Yeah.
people who did care would follow around those groups.
Yeah.
But for us, we all knew that we had each other. Like
That's literally
the
all that matters.
the homies Ethan,
The homies
Colby,
give kisses
Grant,
goodnight.
and me. We would always
y'all were
go.
tight,
Yeah,
yeah.
we would always go back to the house, and like God bless my mom. For giving us like letting these 4 young carnivores just
chomp up
like
her,
eat all of her food,
raid the fridge.
but like and like at the end of the day, like I would never give that up, and I think
Yeah.
that's why I was like kind of more upset with the LDS's view of you have to date multiple people and you can't have like a long relationship.
That literally
with someone.
bothered me so much hearing that, because for me, I'm literally dating to marry.
Yeah.
Like, that's my mindset. So they're basically telling you to be a hoe.
Well, yeah,
Like,
and
in a sense, like, oh yeah, just go figure out what you like.
yeah, and
like,
I feel like with me, having a long lasting relationship
way
with
more-
Carrie built me up as a person a lot
Yeah.
more, even though things ended the way that it did.
Yeah.
But that more than if I just fucked with multiple girls and
Well,
then
I feel
only
like-
had like a surface level.
I feel like having something long term, which I can't speak on again, I've never had, but
Yeah.
hoping. It literally, I know from seeing from people, it definitely grows you as a person, and you have to realize that things are going to be hard sometimes.
Yeah.
But being able to push through that and grow together is way more important than, oh, let me take you on a date today. Let me take this chick back to my house. Like, let me do it. Like, literally, that's just awful.
And it's important, but to like know what you want.
Well,
in a
obviously, yeah,
relationship.
you should definitely know what you
But
want.
I definitely know what I want after Carrie and I's breakup. You
Yeah.
know, like, and even with the other breakup that I just had, like every time. You have to fucking look at it as a learning experience, and like,
either you learn,
or you're
there's
gonna
people
make this mistake
people
again.
come in your life to either show you something, like to help you grow from something, to know what you don't like, to stay with you, or like to like give you that experience, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have to look at everything from like an outside view, almost as like, okay, everything happens for a reason. Why did this happen?
What went right?
What went right? What went wrong? What can I learn from this? What can I do now to grow from this?
Yeah, and that's a mindset that like the people who have hate in their heart just don't adapt
have, yeah.
because they're like, why did this happen to me?
Yeah,
woe on me.
Boo-hoo,
you know,
like
so having like I don't know, like for me personally, like having a long-term relationship, I feel like you learn a lot more about yourself and about like the other person because you're having more time to communicate, more time to see, hey, this works when I do this, but also when I do this is wrong.
This doesn't work. And I feel like when things are good, like when life is good, when things are going good for you, it's good, but when it's hard, you obviously struggle. And I just keep reminding myself, like, just don't overthink things. Like, that's literally, like, I feel like, just me as a person, I overthink a lot of things. So just, like, not overthinking it and just be like, okay, shit might be bad right now, but I need to figure it out. Like, I'm not going to let this affect.
For real, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like, too, it's all in your head, you know?
Yeah,
like,
literally,
your mindset is in your head. Like, the same things can happen to 2 different people, and two drastically different things could happen out of that, you know?
Yeah.
So just knowing that it's on you to fix it is almost more empowering, even though it seems scary, you know?
It does seem scary, but you're, like, growing, like, from that challenge, which is good.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I just have, like, another question, and then we can wrap it up.
All right.
So, staring at you, I can see your cataracts.
Yeah.
And like, what was that like? Like,
so I was diagnosed. I don't know what you'd say. But I was, I guess the word is diagnosed with polar cataracts. So I was actually born with them, and you don't usually get those till you're like old, and they can affect your vision, so they can grow, and it's almost like a piece of skin, for like context, on your eye, and it can make you blind.
Yeah.
And growing up, honestly, like, I didn't literally, I've just known this is normal, but I don't see colors the same as people.
Yeah.
Like, my eyes, my depth perception isn't very good, so when it's dark, I literally can't tell you how far away something is.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
But, like, it does scare me. I don't really let it scare me anymore, but, like, when I'm 20, I literally can be blind, like, if I don't get them removed.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm too young to get them removed.
Because your eyes are, like, developing.
Yeah, they're definitely developing, but I'm very grateful that, like, every time I get them checked, that they're not growing and that they're fine, so...
Like, and, I don't know, just thinking about it, and, like, I think when we were, out, like, wakeboarding, I feel like there was, like, some... Like, you couldn't judge how far away the wake was because... And that was, like, your biggest problem.
Yeah.
And then, like, me realizing, like, oh, it's not because it's, like, she can't... She's scared to go over it. She literally just can't see it.
Can't see. Like, it when... Okay, so we go boating in St. George every summer. I went to St. George, like, 3 times this summer. But my Uncle Vance... Literally freaking love Uncle Vance and Aunt Shelley.
Shout out to Vance.
They're my favorite people on this whole planet. Love you guys. Miss you.
Yeah, miss you guys.
They have the boat, the Sexy Ginger.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, she's so sexy. And we go, like, wake surfing, and, like, tubing and stuff, you know, chopping up those waves.
Yeah.
And...
Going ape shit.
Oh, you know the deal. I miss it so much. But it's... So... You have to, like, get up on the board, obviously, and you're holding onto the rope. But I literally, like, the boat and the board looks like it's next to each other. And the wake...
That's so crazy.
It's weird.
Yeah.
And the wake, to me, looks like it's just, like, one, like, big, like, circular wave. So I can't, like, see, like, what part of the wake I need to aim my board to go down into so that I can maintain the wake. So it's literally, like, you're blind and you're trying to figure out how it feels to get into that spot. So whenever, like, Shelly's like, aim your board this way, aim your board this way, I'm like... I couldn't tell you because I can't see. Like, I literally can't tell you.
Yeah.
So...
And which I think is, like... It makes me... The older brother in me, like, it makes me sad because it was, like... not sad, but it's just, like, man, like, this sucks. But, like, also, like, you... Like, don't forget that you got up on it.
Well,
you
I
know?
hella got up and hella chomped the waves at the end. But,
for real.
like...
Yeah, like...
The first, like, 2 times, I was like, bro, I literally... Don't even know where I am. I can't see. And then whenever that jet ski like almost ran over me, it literally looked like it was going to hit me. Like, it literally looked like it was next to me the whole time. So I'm sitting in the middle of literally Sand Hollow. Yeah. Like, I'm about to fucking die.
And these motherfuckers are...
I swear to God, going so fast.
So when you fall off, you throw up an orange flag.
Yeah.
And that signifies to other boats that, like, they can't get close to you.
That you have to stay 100 feet away.
Yeah, these motherfuckers would get right up on our ass for no goddamn reason. Yeah. So... Holy shit, I can't even imagine that.
Dude, no, literally that's, like, I don't think anyone understands how scary that was for me because I literally chomped off the wake and then I, like, barely moved my board a little bit too far and I just, like, floated down. Like, you know, when you just, like, get done and you submarine it. You just submarine it and that's when you're done. I turn around and I hear something, but it wasn't that loud. And I'm going to swim to get the board and I turn around and it literally looks like a jet ski is not even 10 feet away from me. And the amount of speed it was going, and I was like, I'm going to fucking die. So I hold up the board, and I was, like, waving it, and they're still coming. So it looks like they're literally about, like, this close to my face, so probably, like, 3 feet away. Yeah. And I'm like, why aren't they hitting me? Like, they're next to me. Like, why aren't they hitting me?
And you hear everyone else screaming.
I just hear everyone on the boat screaming. They get out the megaphone. They're like, get the fuck away from the boat. Like,
we were going
I'm just like, I'm gonna die. And I'm in the middle of the lake, and I hear someone say, oh, my God, she's not gonna be okay. And I was like, cool. So I'm sitting in this lake and I'm gonna die.
Okay, and like from our point, it like they were close, but they weren't like super dangerous close. Yeah. But hearing it from like Christie's side, like
and I can't even tell how far away the boat is. Yeah. So like you may seem like it's super close, but you guys look like you're literally across the lake to me. So like I'm like, damn, the boat really got here really fast. But I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I have to remember that I literally don't have depth perception.
Yeah, yeah.
And I literally can't tell how far away the boat is from me. Which, it's weird, like,
Yeah.
being able to adapt to things. Like, backing out a car is hard for me.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I don't know, I've gotten used to it. But I just think it's funny because I used to clown on Mom all the time.
It's like, oh, you're so... Yeah, and it's funny
And then,
because,
like, I'm like, shit, I
I
actually have it.
remember she was taking Ethan and Tyler and I to, like, a show at Kilby Court.
Yeah.
And she has, like, this tendency to, like... come up to a car too hot and then slow down pretty quick
Oh, yeah,
because
she
then
definitely,
she realizes
her brakes
that.
really be working.
So and it's simply not because
She's not.
she's a bad driver. It's like
just
she
she
can't
can't
see,
tell.
and
Yeah.
like, but she knows when she sees.
And it's
stuff.
not like my mother's blind. It's not like
Yeah,
she's like.
yeah,
But
she's a
it's
perfectly capable adult.
it's just like
who,
with depth perception, like things do look normal. Like it looks
Yeah.
like normal, but
And
then
it was-
whenever you're approaching something, like it's like you have to figure out like where it is. So I
Yeah.
guess if I were to ever play like basketball or like softball or anything like that, that would be very hard.
Do you think it affected your dance in any way?
No, because you use your peripheral more
Oh, a lot more, yeah.
Yeah, so like whenever you're like getting into formation, I literally have been trained. Like I can see my fingers right now. Like I can see them.
Yeah, and she has them right in front of her face. She's
No.
not putting them to the
They're
side of her
definitely
head.
the side of my head. Shut up. Like no, but it's like crazy because like whenever another going back to being disciplined. When I was younger, we would have to do kick line.
What's that?
So I don't know, a drill team, like they would, so you would all get in a line and you'd have to do like these certain like routine of kicks.
Okay.
And if they were not exact, on count and perfect, like keep in
They would
mind
kill you.
we were literally 10. They'd blow their whistle out. They would have a whistle. They would blow their
Shit.
whistle at us and be like, go again. And we could not move on to our literal competition routine, what we were supposed to be doing, until we got the kick line like completely perfect.
But it like
But that
makes sense why they like
Yeah,
force that so
no,
hard
it's
because
really
timing
good.
is everything.
literally timing is super important. So like you would have to use your peripheral to like go up and like see where people are kicking.
Yeah, yeah.
And like getting that trained in your head when you're 10 definitely like, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting hearing just like your side of it because like I feel like I take my vision for granted, but
Yeah.
like but
I mean,
there's
I
been,
do
like,
have glasses. My vision
Yeah.
isn't great. I don't wear them unless I'm in
Yeah.
class, but it's honestly not that bad.
Yeah, like it could definitely be
But
worse.
my eyes are very sensitive. Like if I look at the sun and then look at something dark, it goes black for like 10 seconds. But honestly, it's like I've lived with it my whole life. It's normal
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that makes you super cool. So
it is dope. I do look
Yeah.
a little creepy with them, but
yeah, like have you had any like weird experience like people like talking about them or
I think nobody really notices them till I point it out. I'm like, yo, like look at my eyes. Like
do you
let me-
flex it at
sometimes I'll like be like, hey, look at my eyes, like, and they'll be like, no fucking way, dude. And everyone's like, that's so sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, but like the side effect of it is not sick. Like, you try to live with these eyes, bro. Like,
well like you're going through the shit, at least you
Yeah.
can flex it.
yeah,
that
but I
way.
wonder, like, I really do wonder what it's gonna be like when I get them taken out. Like,
Yeah.
it's probably I'm gonna see color way different. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, like, things do look great to me. Like, things do look like this color, but, like, sometimes I'm like, isn't that, like, red? And people are like, no, that is not red. That's, like, maroon. I'm like, that's
like,
that's
fuck.
literally red.
Yeah.
But, I
And
don't
I
know.
can tell because your outfits are never on point.
Shut I have drip. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen, Christy has drip. And
I do
think
have
that's where
certified drip.
Yeah.
This is where we end.
yeah, that's where we're gonna end it. It's been real. I
Yeah.
will see you guys in the next one.
Deuces.